Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grace Thoughts. I hope you've been well and God is showing His great mercies and favor in your life and in the life of your family. Today, we're going to just discuss something that comes up a lot of times when people, who have been trained in the law, trained in religion, they ask, what about going to church on Sunday? Going to church on Sunday, and it's not it's not a trivial matter whether we should go to church on Sundays, whether we should not work on Sundays, whether we should keep the Sabbath day, Sundays holy, and stuff like that. It's not a trivial matter. It's something that is big because it has so many dimensions. It intersects with the state, with the rules of the state. We have Christians who are working for Muslims, so it's big for them because the Muslims, their Muslim bosses want them to work on Sundays and not work on Fridays or something like that. We have all these people who have these issues. We have in some states schools, work on it. Schools are in session on a Sunday as if it's a weekday, others not. So it can be a big issue. It's becoming, in fact, a more important issue as the years go by. As the world becomes more and more secularized, many people abandon Sunday altogether and they just don't go to church, and they don't go to church any other day. They don't organize fellowships around, find themselves organizing fellowships in days apart from Sunday. Sunday. So there is this syndrome which is stuck on and some people want to know what does grace have to say about it, and we're going to just read something from John chapter 5 verse 18, because there's no problem that is new to Jesus, and if you know how to interpret the Bible, you will discover that even though the Bible is not a place to go for all answers concerning everything, you can really get a lot of insight when you study the Bible to some of the questions you ask and some of the thoughts you have concerning these things. So I read verse 18, John chapter 5, and it's a commentary on something that happened after some interaction between the Jews and Jesus. And it says, this was why the Jews were seeking all the more to kill him. So I thought it's not a small issue. It's big if it could result in death. So the more to kill him, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was even calling God his own father, making himself equal with God. So two big reasons for these people. They wanted to kill him because, one, he broke the Sabbath, and secondly, he called himself God, or rather called God his father, which means he has the DNA of God, and which means he's God. That's why they surmised that he was making himself equal with God. And now we all know that yes, he is equal with God. But what about that when he was breaking the Sabbath? And the people have all kinds of arguments, those of the law persuasion, those of law mixed with grace, and they say, he didn't really break the Sabbath. No, he did. No, he did. If you study what the Sabbath is all about and the commands of God, incidentally his father, concerning the Sabbath, he broke them. He harvested on the Sabbath. He healed the sick on the Sabbath. He worked on the Sabbath. It's like it became his life. Remember, they are not just judging him based on a particular action he did on a particular Sabbath. No, they discovered that this man, Jesus, had no regard whatsoever for the laws of the Sabbath. He worked on the Sabbath day the way he worked on other days. He healed on the Sabbath day the way he healed on other days. He did everything the way he was just like a rebel concerning the Sabbath. So when we come to what was informing this attitude of Jesus, I believe it's all the grace message that we're talking about. You see, under grace, we don't have seasons. We don't have seasons. Oh, this is the Lenten season, this is Christmas season, and this is the other season, and then we don't have days. This is Sunday, this is Monday, this is Tuesday. Because we are not in a religion, we are in a relationship with the Father. And you cannot tell your Father that, you see, Dad, I'm setting aside one day of the 6 days, and that's when we're going to hang out, we're going to be able to chat. That's not good for a relationship. You see, a relationship is an everyday thing. Relationship is an everyday thing. While it is good for so many practical reasons to have a day of rest, the day of rest that God gave in the commandment is totally different from the civil day of rest. The day of rest that God gave as a command was designed to speak about Jesus, and to speak about faith in Christ, whereby we enter into rest. Last week we spoke about how do you labor to enter into rest, to enter into a place where you trust God 100% is Jesus. When you are in Christ, that's where you enter, and you begin to enjoy the power of God. You begin to enjoy the love of God. You begin to enjoy the favor of God without putting a day to it. It's just an everyday thing. Every day is Sabbath for the Christian. Every day is Sabbath for the believer. Every day is Sabbath for the one who knows who Jesus is, because every day you rest, faith becomes your attitude of life. This is the way you consider things. This is the point of view you have, your perspective. You have a biblical perspective where faith is the foundation for that perspective, and you evaluate everything from the point of rest, not the point of work, not the point of self. Evaluate everything in Christ. So that's what he's talking about here, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, that's the word, not only did he break the Sabbath once, but he was breaking the Sabbath. Now, is this an encouragement to not go to church on Sunday? No, but to become flexible in your relationship with God. If you find yourself, for example, practically, you're working for a Muslim who wants you not to go to church on Sunday, but to work on Sunday, you are not committing a sin. Sin has been redefined by Jesus, and we shared about that in one of the great thoughts. No, you are not committing a sin when you have to work on Sunday, and you have a day of rest. Let's say because of the religion of that person. It's and this is where church leaders have to come in and give everybody an opportunity to worship God any day of the week. And when I say worship God any day of the week, I mean like in a community, organize fellowships, organize services that will accommodate everybody. Accommodate everybody. This thing of sticking and saying, let's fight, we have to fight for Sunday, it's just not well informed. It's not well informed. Yes, it's good to come together. The Hebrew says, do not forsake the gathering of the brethren. It's absolutely important. But grace people are not Sunday people. Grace people are everyday people. If you look at most of the religious people who are sometimes the source of most of the evil you find in the world, they go to church on Sunday. So they tell you that going to church on Sunday is not a magical formula. No, it's not a magical formula. You have to be creative in your pastoral designs to accommodate everyone. Don't presume that everyone works from Monday to Saturday and rests on Sunday. This is the world we are living in right now. You have to create, and nobody should be left out in public worship where we come together and worship together. And the only way to begin to make these changes is to begin to change your mind about who Jesus is, about who God is. It's not a God of demand who demands that every Sunday you must go to church and fulfill an obligation. No, He is a relational God, and all He wants is to be able to relate with His children, both individually and as a group. Be blessed. I hope that speaks to you. You're blessed.